Hello and welcome to Star Blood Chronicles. I'm your captain, Dragon Paul. Today, the episode will be a description on what a permission slip is and how we use them. If you haven't been following me, then you don't know that I spoke with an extraterrestrial 2 weeks ago. His name's Bashar. You could look him up on any platform. And I actually got picked to go up and ask him 2 questions. And one of them was about my connection to dragons, which I will talk about, and how they're used as a permission slip. I use them as a permission slip, and you use things as permission slips all the time. This is going to explain to you what that is, what it means, and how we use it. I'll also go into a little bit about the connection between dragons. And I'll also be playing you a clip from the night I spoke with an extraterrestrial. And if you haven't followed by now, go to YouTube, Star Blood Chronicles, and subscribe.
なんかね、ちょっとこのラインかどうかわかんないね。このラインだと思う。ちょっと前見てくるね。
All the way back, yeah. Thank you all. Let's have some fun. Not knock over the water. And she's going to pick people first. See, I just get right into it because I'm getting fuzzy already here. All right, so.
So if you're interested in asking Bashar a question, raise your hand. You'll be given a golden ticket, and then you'll be lining up over here. And please, after you ask your question, when you come up to the front, they'll adjust the mic for you. And if you would exit that way so you're not walking in front of the camera. Okay? So thank you, and okay, go. One moment.
And so in the front too. Let's take a day of this day of your time. How are you all? Such a lively, but in actual fact, It's a deadly question. The reason we say this is because you are all actually already dead. Understand that what we mean is that your natural state is of spirit. You have never left the spirit realm. That's your home. That's your natural state. You are dreaming that you've left. You are pretending that you've left. That's what physical reality is. So there is no reason to fear death because you're already dead. You are all still in the spirit realm. The idea is that a soul will decide to have a certain experience for the purpose of its own growth, and it will concentrate that idea as vibrations down into the center of its being. And at the center of its being, it will, in a sense, crystallize those vibrations, densify those vibrations, to create within the sphere of the soul a concept called the physical personality that then has an experience that you call physical reality, where time and space are created differently in order for you to experience the process of change, the process of creation, so that you can forget who you are in order to remember who you are from a new point of view, a new discovery, a new perspective. But the soul remains. And everything that is happening in physical reality is happening within it. So it is more accurate to say, rather than that your body has a soul, that your soul has a body. Again, you never leave the spirit realm. We are all there right now. So, understand that when you have an experience, such as astral projection or a near-death experience, it is simply that densified, crystallized personality seed at the center of the soul softening a bit back out to something closer to the diameter of the original spherical soul, so that you are closer to the vibration, the full vibration of that soul. And when you densify again, as you return, quote unquote, to your body, as you return your focus to the idea of the physical reality experience, the soul remains and functions as what you now call your higher mind, your higher self. That is the higher mind. It is your soul, speaking to you through energy, through vibrations, that you as a physical being sense and translate and experience as the sensation you call passion, love, curiosity, excitement. That is your soul speaking to you in energy terms. As we have said, the whole point of allowing yourself to create this physical focus within your soul is to act on that passion, because action is the language of physical reality. But always remember that as you expand your consciousness, what's happening.
What's up, goons, goblins, warlocks, witches, tricks, skip, scops, scallywags, whatever the homie says? I'm here today so we can talk about the night I spoke with an extraterrestrial. So if you guys don't know who this guy is, he's a channeler. So it's similar to a psychic channeling a spirit, right? If they get information from somewhere, they might say it's an angel or Michael or Haniel, one of the archangels. Well, this guy, Daryl, he's been channeling for a long time, and he channels what he says is a future human, kind of. Not that there's past and future, that doesn't exist. It's a parallel universe where these are more evolved humans, like fifth density. So they're not really physical. Quasi-physical is what he said. So what I'm here to talk about today are what he calls permission slips. We all use them. Everything is a variant of a permission slip. Okay? Is it a tool? Yes. Is it a ritual? Yes. Is it a religion? Yes. Is it a deity? Yes. Yes to all of the above and more. Anything, okay, so I'm going to be holding my notes because I don't like hitting the table every so often, and then I hear all that banging noises when I play my videos back. So I'm going to be holding my notes. I don't care if it looks unprofessional. So anything you utilize in order to bring yourself closer to yourself is, in essence, a permission slip. If you like playing a sport that brings out the best in you and brings out your passion, then you are using that sport/tool as a permission slip to get closer to your true self, your authentic self. Okay? If a meditation brings out your excitement and joy, it is a permission slip. Whatever works best for you in anything that brings out your authenticity is a permission slip. You don't necessarily need anything but yourself. However, if you want to use a tool to find your power, that is perfectly fine. I mean, that's how everyone starts, right? You attract what your frequency is. No real power is within the tools we use. Like this is just a tool. I'm using this as a permission slip when I cast out dark entities. But in reality, it's me. I am doing it. My soul, my spirit has the aura and the power to chase away low vibrations because I'm full of high vibrations, and I work to make sure that they stay high. That's just a small example. We already have the power to be our true selves, but the tools we choose to use can be very helpful. One of my permission slips are also dragons. As Bashar explained to me when I was given the chance to speak with him, Bashar would even call himself a permission slip. That helps us to get closer to our truest selves. Get it now? Should be making sense. So, the end game of a permission slip is to finally understand that we do not need them. We can simply choose to be ourselves and continue to raise our frequencies without the tools. But you don't have to, but you can. It's always up to the individual. That is a quick rundown of what a permission slip is and how we use them. People who find religion or lowercase g God, they use the books, they use the information, the rituals, the songs, the psalms. Everything is a tool just to get closer to who you truly are. The spirit within you is the true power, though. You are the actual portal that opens all things. The same goes for a Ouija board. It's not the actual board that's doing anything. It's your portal using a tool, a permission slip to open doors. That's how it works. Let me hold my staff of permission. Dragons represent the symbol of ancient wisdom of the physical reality that we live in. They are the oldest living beings that were here before Earth's creation. Wisdom and power of this reality is what they represent as a symbol. Expressing yourself as fully as you can, natural ancient beingness is what they represent as well, and the connection between earth and the heavens. They are ultra dimensional. Dragons are a manifestation of a consciousness of this realm. It is the core to humanity's psychic wisdom. They know how to express themselves in many different ways. Dragon energy is a symbol for powerful DNA connections. Humans won't even realize they're using dragon energy for a situation in life, but they are always around us etherically, helping us with our life. For an example, when healers call on water dragons because they represent emotions, and we move energy in our bodies with our emotions. So emotions are crucial to our balance. So a healer will use water dragons as a symbol to, or a permission slip to help them move emotional, you could say emotional damage, you could say emotional trauma. They move that through the body to places where it can either completely go away or just reduce. But too much of one thing can cause harm. Too much fire can cause you to burn. Too much of the air element or air dragons can disorient you. And too much earth can bury you, right? Because there's earth dragon. Balancing these within yourself is a lifestyle, not a trend.
Hello, Bashar.
I have a question. What is my connection with dragons?
Dragons represent ancient wisdom. It's a connection to many different things. It's a connection to an extraterrestrial source that presents itself in your dimension as the idea of an ancient serpent, which also represents the concept of DNA on a very powerful level. Because you are, first and foremost, as a physical being, all of you, DNA. That's what you are as a physical being when you decide to focus yourself into physical reality, and then you build the body around yourself in that sense, within the soul. But the dragon represents the spiral, the power, kundalini. It represents the energy of connection from the earth to heavens and the idea of your self-empowerment. And it is reflected by certain interdimensional beings in a, shall we say, archetypal way through the symbol of the dragon and the serpent, which represents the concept of the power of DNA. Like a permission.
The number one thing that dragons represent is balance. All they want is the balance of all multi-dimensions. Balance. Okay? Now, dragons are not pushovers. They are not passive creatures. They aren't just going to show themselves to anyone. They are a highly respectable species. And once they don't see your commitment to something you asked for, they will almost never show themselves to that person again. And if you choose to ask for dragon energy, you'd better be ready for it. It is extremely strong and can take years to even have any dragon contact. It took me probably a year until I had my first meditation vision of a very clear dragon's face. It's breathtaking, to say the least. I'll now tell you all of my very first astral ride with Dragon. I was allowed to have a quick look at a dragon world or realm, whatever you want to call it. One thing I want to tell y'all is that once you are with a dragon in meditation or in the astral realms, you will never be harmed. Which means fear is something you have to let go of. Dragons don't play fear. They just don't. If they take you underwater, you will not drown. And if they take you into the earth, you will not get stuck, and so forth. And now, for my lucid dream. Now, if you know about lucid dreams, you know how vivid they can be. And if you know some of the studies, you understand that it is not a normal, regular dream. It's when you become aware within your dream and you start to control it. Well, this one was very lucid because I was aware that I was on the back of a dragon flying in it just seemed like just blackness for a while. So the beginning of the dream was mundane. The beginning of the dream, I was underwater and it just looked like a blue tint, but I could tell it was water because you could see like currents. And there was nothing really weird other than I could breathe perfectly underwater. And I don't know, it seemed like I was in like a gift shop, but underwater. That's all I can, that's the best explanation I have right now. But then, from the water area, the water realm dream, I popped into a blackness where I look down and I do see a dragon flying. It doesn't look back at me, it doesn't say anything to me, but it flies up to a giant, and I mean like filling my entire sight, my whole eyesight is filled by a circle of purple. It looks like real shiny violet. It looks like water, and it's a circle. And now I know that to be a portal, and it's just like undulating, and it stops for just a second right in front of it, and then in half a second, I'm on the other side of it, I assume, and we're flying in what I can only call a dragon world. And it's not like they're wearing pants or have suits on with business briefcases. It's not like that. It was like the real deal. It was just, the first thing was a giant forest. And I saw the dopest looking I would say young dragons play fighting. One of them stood out to me so much more than the other one because it was the one on top kind of like nipping at the other one. And it was the most beautiful black and bluish scales I've ever seen and probably will ever see. I mean, here anyway. And it was just, they were just play fighting. They were just wrestling in the woods. And I was up high watching it happen. And I swear I didn't even say a word. My mouth was just like the entire time. And as we pass over them, there's some trees. And then I see water. Again, but the surface of water, which it looks like a giant lake or maybe an ocean, right? And so we're just coasting. And out of nowhere, I kid you not, the most giant
dragon, kind of yellowish, comes up from the water like a roller coaster ride. It just comes up above where we're flying. Its giant neck, and then just checks us out and goes back underwater. And I'm just like, what is going on here? And just as we keep flying and we keep flying a little ways, it takes a dive into that water. Oops. It takes a dive right into the water. And I wake up with probably not full memory, but that much of how the color schemes were so much better than what we have here on this planet. They say that this realm, you can tell that it's a fake realm or a simulation because things die. And in the spirit world, nothing's dying. Nothing dies. Nothing goes. Nothing decays. But you only see that here. That's what they say. I'm sure there's other realms like ours where things decay, but in the spirit world, it doesn't happen. And that was my flight with Dragon. Dream I had.
Yes.
It's kind of graphic, so.
Oh, all right. I won't blush.
So I just had published a children's book, and so I asked my guys for an idea of part 2,
Yes.
and I was shown a child in an all-white room wrapped in almost gauze or saran wrap,
Yes.
and it seemed like it was eating, but that like it couldn't eat. And what I did was I removed some of the saran wrap from the mouth, and pieces of the face started falling out.
All right.
And what do you see in that image?
The idea is that something is being revealed to you. A truth is being revealed to you, but a little bit at a time. You have to see through the surface layers to something deeper to reach the children in the way that you want. Oh, thank you. So can be your book.
Thank you.